Hey, my name is Shadowsense and you're watching Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. In the last episode, we basically got a team house. We're gonna combine Jinx's apartment with the apartment next door to hers, and therefore everybody's under the same roof. The Jinx's sibling, though, Jianye, was a kind of a hard ass, but they were doing it as like a joke. They're like, nah, I just wanted to watch you squirm. It was very funny. The months slid by quickly enough. We'd gather for a few hours at GCF's arcade to train, in and around various side jobs the team held, taking commuting time into account. Honestly, scheduling is a bit messy. I'm looking forward to using sponsor money to get as many team salaries going as we can to eliminate that problem. But today's the day. Moving day. Trucks pull up in front of the building now and then, offloading what meager few possessions we have to haul up to apartments 108 and 109. Or as they shall henceforth be known, the Shadowsense Lounge HQ. Headquarters sounds way cooler than Team House anyway. Probably best to stay out of the way and let the movers work. Just chill in the arcade for the afternoon, let Xian wrangle the logistics. So who do I want to hang out with while waiting for our headquarters to be made presentable? Okay, I get to hang out with some people. Only 3 though. Rhapsody, Zapper and Loxley, and Domino. Let's go hang out. You know, Rhapsody's right there. Rhapsody's just hanging out in the laundry area upon first glance. But as I approach them, I see Rhapsody watching the movers with an attentive eye since it's glued to the people moving our boxed goods. I had Iris check several moving companies for me, and these ones were the best. No moving accidents in over a year. Are you worried they're gonna throw your stuff around?
Nah.
Not exactly. I just want to ensure my belongings make it into the new home without any trouble. I have a lot of very important items in those boxes. I'd be heartbroken if something happened to them. And I really have nothing else I can do right now, right? Everything's packed up. Now that I think about it, actually, I guess I was a bit worried. You sensed it before I could. You're really getting in tune with all of us and our feelings, aren't you, Shadow? It's what a good friend and manager and cat herder does. But no need to worry, Rhapsody. I'm not worried, and you shouldn't be worried. Just think of how grand this will all be. All of us friends living together. Think of all the training and the laughs that'll be had. Everything from here on out is going to be perfect. Mostly. What do you mean mostly?
Might work?
I do enjoy your very gung-ho attitude about everything. Makes me hopeful in turn. But oblivious optimism is not the smartest way to approach this. While most times you will be just dandy, there will also certainly be issues. You need to be prepared for that. What if Zap and I have an argument over the lack of peace and quiet in our room? What if Loxley and Domino can't agree on how cluttered they keep their space? What if Grace and Jinx start fighting over rent? How will you deal with those tumultuous episodes when they arise? We're all adults, we'll communicate. I've had a fighting ring installed just for this. Yeah, we'll talk it out like people. It's not like I haven't thought about this. Of course, sometimes we won't all get along. This isn't some happy, idealistic bubble I'm living in. But I also know we're all capable adults. On top of that, we're all friends. We know how to talk to each other. We just have to have an open floor from the start and be able to share our feelings with each other. Honesty and understanding and willingness to listen is the cocktail for success. If that's the drink you're serving, I'll gladly serve up that mix. Thanks. Gross. Rhapsody takes a deep breath and a moment to mull over my words. They seem hesitant, but wanting to continue this conversation. I don't mean to overstep, Shadow. I've lived firsthand with this experience, and sometimes it gets ugly. You mean when you lived with Team P2W? Rhapsody nods, a slight sadness to their smile. No matter how cheery and great it seems at first, there are things you can't possibly know about those who you are moving in with. We all have our secrets, and P2W certainly had theirs. I didn't realize how awful they all were until I lived with them. When I first joined, I merely thought their haughtiness was all an act. Most of us tend to inflate our personalities when we're in the spotlight, and I thought it was all for show. But as we know, it's not.
That's not a good look.
I saw them harass and abuse others in the community. Constantly. Winning is all that mattered to them, and they did everything and anything to do so. Sabotage and manipulation were always on the table with them. And no matter how hard I tried to ignore it, I had the means to win. I had the resources at my fingertips. I was surrounded by the best. I could have won. Really won. But in the end, I just couldn't deal with it. Wait, I thought you said they kicked you out. They did. After I gave up emotionally, my skills and performance tanked. Their harassment turned to me, thinking it would inspire me to do better.
It was my fault.
It didn't. And eventually, they officially removed me. I constantly think, what if? What if I had stayed? What if I had just done something? Would it have changed anything? What if you ended up winning? Those are unreasonable expectations to put on yourself. I'm thinking this one. Playing the what if game will get you nowhere, Rhapsody. You're smart enough to see that. Yeah, that's true. You could have 1,000 what if scenarios running in your head, but honestly, do you think that if you stayed in that house you'd be better, you'd be here now with the Shadowsense Lounge? Maybe? I think as much as you'd wish that deep in your heart, you know it wouldn't be the same. That kind of attitude warps people. I know because my friend Nif joined P2W and I can see him slowly changing. I don't even think he sees it. So if you had stayed with P2W, you wouldn't be the great friend I know now.
I see your point.
Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot of sense. More sense than I'd like to admit. Regardless, I'm done dwelling on the past for now. I have new things to focus my energy on. I need to elevate my skills in FOD2. It's not just about your performance. The joys of FOD2 is that you always have a partner. Doubles. Yes, that's true. It's been singles all my life. I've never tried to achieve greatness in a doubles team.
What if we switch it up?
This new game brings new challenges. Maybe if I can't do it alone, I can reach success with a friend. You're not alone, Rhapsody. Our success is your success. We'll all work together to win. And I promise we won't be a reflection of your experience at P2W's team house. That's a relief. I'm glad to not have that stress. Yeah, that's the spirit. You won't need to escape from us. Unless we all turn into zombies, then you should run. Definitely run. I'd like to keep my brain, yes. Thanks for talking to me about all this. I think we're going to have a great time living together. I think so too. Rhapsody's eyes dart away from me and return to the movers. Oh, that's my casting equipment in that box. Shadow, need to make sure this gets up to the apartment without any hitches. I nod in understanding as Rhapsody jumps up and helps the movers with the doors. Has anybody else got together with a group of really tight friends and said, you know, someday we're all just gonna get a big house and live together, and then you make all these plans and then it never comes to fruition because of course it doesn't, because it's just not logistically possible. Because I've done that, I swear, with 3 groups of friends now, and and now we're all barely friends. The group's dissolved or whatever and everyone went their separate ways. It's sad thinking about it, but you know, can't dwell on it. Reflecting briefly on my conversation with Rhapsody, sure, there will be tough times ahead. I know all of us working together should be able to conquer anything before us. I trust in this team. Trust in us. Speaking of us, I should see what the rest of us are up to right now. Time for Zapper and Loxley!
I must protest!
Which is why they should have done nothing. Now they're the de facto approving of evil itself.
Are you kidding me?
What else did you expect to do? Hold hands and sing Kumbaya? Wrong place, wrong time for that sort of thing. Okay, apparently I'm walking into a heated debate. May need to step in here if Zapper starts getting abusive. She's learning self-control, but I promised her I'd intervene if anything goes wrong. Fortunately, my arrival draws her attention. Hey, Shadow, Loxley's being an overly optimistic dreamer again.
This is messy.
Loxley, my dude, I get that in a perfect world everything would be super cool and he could say anything he wants, but this ain't that. Nor will it be unless those with power are willing to step up and embrace empathy rather than avarice. Okay, may as well hurl myself directly into oblivion and ask, what are you two arguing about? It's less of an argument and more of a clash of perspective, mine being sensible and his being idealistic. I'm perfectly fine with being called idealistic. Back up a bit and start again, I just got here. Fine. Loxley, you first. Yesterday, an esports competitor was being interviewed by a major tournament win, after a major tournament win, and in his victory speech he declared, "Free XXX Revolution now." And the game's publisher promptly banned him from play for 6 months and fired the person interviewing him for allowing it. Which sucks, I'm not arguing it doesn't suck, it's an all-around pile of suck. But the ban came down because a game event is the wrong place for politics. It's like expecting nuance on Facewall, and the guy signed a contract agreeing to that. The contract wording was intentionally vague, and I doubt the company would punish him if he said the USA rules, which I might add is also a political statement.
I disagree, my friend.
No, this is clearly fear of reprisal from the government of XX, which is simultaneously a huge gaming market and despotic regime. I know exactly what this is referencing, and I'm on the side of he should not have been banned, that player was. I can't remember his name, and I feel really bad about that. But, I think he said free Hong Kong during, like, I think it was Overwatch, or it might have been League of Legends or something. He should not have been banned. Hey, guess what? Everywhere is a place for politics. You cannot escape it. I don't understand these people that are like, this is not the time or place for politics. It's like, politics is pervasive in everything you do in your life. So you either deal with it or shut the fuck up. Just talking about XXX negatively in a good way is a good way to get punished, with corporations climbing into bed with them on a daily basis. Loxley's right about that. I wouldn't want to mention we all know XXX is China. Specifically by name, just to be on the safe side.
Nah.
This isn't about XXX, it's about games and keeping the focus on games, not politics. All discourse is political, my friend. Games are art, and therefore political. Exactly! Not this again. Look, I'm not sitting here fucking China's ass, okay? I don't like what they've been doing any more than you do. And hell, that publisher is run by an abusive patriarch called Fucksticks. I'm not playing cheerleader for anyone here. But expecting a video game company to do anything other than get out of the way of one oncoming freight train is absurd. It's not their place to start an international incident. And when I sit down and play a game, I just want to play a game, you know? I don't play those games that are thinly veiled military recruitment campaigns either. I want game storefronts to make obvious propaganda games. I want racist trolls out of the community. Keep things welcoming for everyone by keeping politics out.
A bit concerning, that?
And who decides what's political and what isn't, That's the rub. I feel someone needs to stand up, or this is just going to happen again and again. And as a member of the gaming community, I'd like it to be us. It's also important for those of us who have a platform of privilege from which to speak that we use them boldly against the evils of the world. Totally agree. But we've both ranted enough, haven't we? Considering Shadow is our acting manager / cat wrangler, they keep saying cat wrangler and I don't get it. I've not seen one fucking cat in this game. I'm curious how he would interpret the situation. Just in case I feel like, I don't know, making the scary political statements after the Shadowsense Lounge wins the Pro Tour. Holy shit, people, you're dumping this on me now? No worries. I support my friends. I'll respect your wishes on this matter, regardless of what they are. You have my loyalty, and that will always come first. Yeah, let's not back Shadow into a corner on this one. I'm cool with whatever you decide too. So, do you think it's reasonable to disallow politics at a gaming event, or is it reprehensible to silence them? I really gotta think about it, because I'm on the reprehensible part. People should take a stand for what they believe in. But also, like, is that on the individual? Is that on the gaming company? I would like companies to be a bit more, stand-up-ish without, but anytime they do that, it's a big ploy for, like, look, we're good. Please spend your money with us, because we're good. Shit is messy. Let's call this what it is, okay? A game company is terrified of losing money in XXX and willing to silence someone to avoid that fate. It's not about neutrality, it's about that bottom line, and a company has no right to punish someone over their speech like that. If they're not willing to stand up for their players, they don't deserve to have a player community. And if the only vote we get under capitalism is voting with our dollars, well, I hope there's a mass voting and they feel it in the pocketbook. Hear, hear! Thank you for seeing past the company's rhetoric to what this is truly about.
Maybe?
I think you're both putting way too much meaning into this, but whatevs. It's not like I'm waving China's flags around and cheering them on. Screw 'em, just not gonna say that at a Pro Tour event. Which is perfectly understandable, Zapper, as long as you respect my right to do so. As long as we don't get our whole team banned from play, you do you. Living with y'all is going to be interesting, at least, especially Loxley and I under one roof. I promise not to start any fights, though. Team cohesion above all else. Glad I'm specifically bunking with Rhapsody, though. Likewise, I promise to remain cordial and not allow differing viewpoints to tear the Shadowsense Lounge apart. It wouldn't be fair to Shadow, or anyone else. So, 3 cheers for the Shadowsense Lounge HQ! Long may it stand. Hip hip hooray! Smiles and good cheer all around. But also a bit of a reminder that I'm in charge of keeping some very, very different people all focused on the same goal. More responsibility than I asked for, more than I wanted, but I can do this for the sake of my friends. Okay, anybody else I should talk with before moving in? Checking Domino? Sure, why not? Who keeps texting me? Excuse me. I find Domino chilling in his usual spot, in front of battered plastic Japanese arcade cabinet loaded with his shmup faves. Although chillin' is probably not accurate. As usual, he's hyper-focused on a massively complicated bullet spam pattern from hell, desperately hanging on to the edge of survival. And yet he finds just enough mental timeshare to say hello. Hello? Hey, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Nah, that's fine, I'm good. It's a good day. I'm all packed up and ready to go on permanent vacation with y'all. Where's your luggage? You didn't register with the movers, so I figured you'd be bringing your stuff in by hand or something. But I don't see any boxes or suitcases or travel trunks or anything out there. And Domino glances to a battered duffel bag lying on the ground next to his arcade cab. Got it all right here. That's it? The sum total of my worldly possessions. Well, the stuff worth keeping anyway. Ah, the joys of riding the poverty line like a skateboard rail. With his game wrapped up, he turns to chat with me while leaning against the cabinet. He seems genuinely happy, possibly for the first time that I've seen.
This can't possibly end badly.
This is gonna be fun. Assuming we aren't murdering each other by the end of the first week, it'll be nice to not live alone anymore. I'd like to think we can handle this new living arrangement with a minimum of bloodshed. My hope is to provide a friendly, welcoming sort of gamer's paradise for us all. You know, I never liked that word. Paradise? Gamers.
That's curious.
I mean, what is a gamer, really? It's branding and marketing shorthand, a defined role given to us by the media to act as a convenient carrying handle. When a major corporation making sweet bank off you is telling you who to be and what opinions to hold and what opinions to fight to the death over, well, that's worrying. And to an extent, the esports scene completely buys into it. You don't want to make sponsors unhappy, and sponsors want you to stick to the script. Crimson Tiger only exists because some soda company decided they needed a gamer drink for the gamer lifestyle and invented a brand to cover the gap.
Isn't it ironic?
Thus, the loop is closed. We become part of our own subservience. Okay, kind of went on a Loxley-esque rant there, didn't I? That's okay, made sense to me. We have to be careful not to perpetuate stereotypes. Absolutely. No, I get what you mean. It's an easy trap to fall into, filling the shoes someone else gave to you. We're walking a weird line, being professionals who have to keep their sponsor happy. We need to be careful not to become generic esports team number 23. If we keep our individualism and our ideals alive, I think we can work within the system without being complicit in its excesses. That's a pretty tight rope to walk, but I'm glad you're mindful of it. Last thing I want is for the Shadowsense Lounge to be like, what up, fellow gamers? Buy more Crimson Tiger. Well, we have to push the product a little, but only in the ways we agree with. Hopefully we'll have a choice in the matter. Maybe it's for the best that I'm bunkmates with Loxley for the Shadowsense Lounge HQ experiment. We see eye to eye on this stuff. So you've picked out your room assignment already?
Yeah.
Yep, Gion's moving stuff around accordingly. Starting tomorrow, the Shadowsense Lounge HQ is in full effect. I'd suggest a huge party to celebrate, but let's not annoy our landlord on day one. Plus, I'm usually the one who sits in the corner talking to the pets during a party, because when I try to mingle, people go, oh, look at the time, and wander off. Honestly, I'm less worried about someone else on the team starting drama than myself accidentally causing some.
Not the worst idea.
My hope is that I'll be a bit less morose if I'm around cheerful people. I mean, it's half the reason I keep coming back to GCF. Being a shut-in really drives people up a wall, across the ceiling and down the other side. I don't know how folks like Loxley managed it before today. Hang on, weren't you a shut-in too? I lived alone, if that's what you mean.
That's curious.
And you didn't have an arcade to fall back on to pump up your social meter either. How'd you do it? How'd you avoid losing your marbles from isolation? Maybe I did go completely scooters? That's a phrase. I'm just really good at hiding it. Honestly, I didn't. Just focused grinding FOD2. Yeah. To be totally honest with you, Dom, I wasn't great with the isolation. Sometimes I wouldn't even leave the apartment. I'd order delivery so I could keep grinding the FOD2 rank ladder all day and all night. Things feel different now that I'm going to an actual arcade, now that I have more friends. Feels better than sitting by my lonesome all day. Sounds like you found exactly where you need to be. Count yourself lucky. Not everyone manages that. Some people spend their whole lives trying to find where they belong. Some fail and just fade away. You only find out they even existed when the landlord comes around due to complaints about the smell. Dude. Sorry, went overboard again. I meant it positively though. You've done good work, Shadow. Be proud. Thanks, Amino. Anytime. Well, for today at least. I'm in a damn fine mood today. I'm not used to feeling this jovial and confident. It's a pleasant thing, to be sure. Be nice if I could keep it rolling more than a day or two. Usually I get slam dunked back into the suck after it passes, but... hey, who knows? Maybe with more contact with optimists like you and Grace, I can keep it going. Okay, I should double check to make sure I didn't actually leave anything behind. My old landlord dumped all my crap on the curb for garbage pickup. I may need to root through it.
Be seeing you.
See you upstairs later? You got it. Anyone else I want to hang out with before officially moving in? Hang on, the sun's already gone down. Why the heck haven't we moved in yet? I'd say we're burning daylight, but we're fresh out. Beep beep, Shadow. You have an incoming message from Jinx. Hey there, John's trying to get our arcade game working and running into problems. Any idea how to boot up a custom arcade PC? Real mess up here right now. Huh? Is this a PC in a fancy wooden box? I thought arcade games were specialized hardware. Retro games, yes. Modern ones tend to use off-the-shelf components. Want me to reply to her? Oh wait, I've got another message from you. This time from Grace. I could use a hand moving my game collection. Can you take the subway to the 23rd Street station? Moving these boxes myself is proving difficult. I don't think I can leave either of them hanging. Rhapsody could easily get an FOD2 machine going. They're a computery type person like you. And I'm sure Loxley would be more than happy to carry some boxes for Grace. So, who should I send where? Loxley can assist Grace. I'll go help Jinx. Iris, contact Loxley and give him Grace's location. I'd like us to get moved in ASAP, and if this arcade game's the stumbling block, I want to take care of it.
Sounds good.
Sure thing, Shadow. Grace and Loxley will be back by the time you're ready. With that settled, I head up the elevator to join Gian and Jinx's literal homemaking efforts. Okay. And seems like a good place to end the episode there. Making a lot of progress, and I'm pretty happy about that. Got a team house going, just need to set up the arcade game. Everybody's feeling pretty optimistic about the move. Everything's looking up. So, thank you guys so very much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.